So there's been quite a bit of Spyro reveals lately, and there's been gameplay shown from multiple levels of Spyro 3. We've seen what Sheila's gonna look like, and we've also gotten a reveal for Hunter, Alora, and also Moneybags. This news has been out for quite a while, and lately I've been slacking on talking about the new Spyro stuff. So I thought I'd talk a little bit and give my thoughts on the new stuff. And rather than do my usual list of things you might have missed, I thought I'd give a more relaxed analysis of the gameplay. So first up, we're going to take a look at the cutscene from the beginning of Spyro 2, right after you exit Glimmer. They released this not too long ago, actually. This is relatively new, but I saw it and I thought it looked absolutely amazing, this new cutscene. So Alora's voice sounds really good. I might even like it more than the original.
My name is Alora.
Hi, I'm Spyro. What are you, some kind of goat?
I'm a fawn, you dork. I'm a fawn, you dork.
It's a really good redesign with the leaves, and her hair looks really good. Her character seems even more kind than she used to be. Just something about the way she delivers her lines just makes her seem kinder than she was in the original. Her design makes her seem a bit more quirky than she used to be. And when she says the famous line, "I'm a fawn, you dork,"
I'm a fawn, you dork.
it sounds a bit less sassy and more of a lighthearted joke. And I think I like that. It's not like a huge difference, but you can notice that it's just a touch less sassy than it was in the original, and I kind of like that. Hunter looks good, and his new voice actor does an amazing job, so I'm glad that they are getting people who can voice the characters in a new way it's still different, but it is really close to the original, and really pays tribute to that.
Oh, I got a little lost.
I got a little lost.
Some stuff that you might not notice on your first watch of the cutscene is that the pacing of the scene and the lines are a little bit slower than it is in the original, and it makes it feel a bit more natural that way. And there's actually new music that plays during the cutscene that follows the pacing of the scene, whereas in the original there was just the music from Summer Forest, that like the main Summer Forest song. So I'm glad that they actually added that new music to the cutscene. It kind of helps set the mood for the cutscene. I like that they added the extra clip of Moneybags reacting to being thrown out of the castle. It's a nice new addition that they added, so I like that. And I think it's also worth mentioning that we don't get to see Crush and Gulp at the very beginning of the cutscene. Now, I don't know if that's because it's just not shown yet, like if we just hopped into the cutscene after that happened and we don't get to see that yet, or if it's just not in the game at all. Either way, I don't really mind too much. It's just a small little thing. But I figured it'd be worth mentioning that we don't get to see that, and it could be either way, that it's not in the game, or we just haven't gotten to see it yet. So now looking at some of the new stuff from Spyro 3, I like Sheila's new design. She has hair now, which is kind of putting some people off. They weren't really sure about the hair. I wasn't sure about the hair when there was that tiny glimpse of Sheila from the cover art, like way back, long time ago. We got to see like this tiny little sliver of Sheila, and you could see that she had hair, and I wasn't sure if she was going to look good with hair, but I think she looks good now that we get to see her in all of her glory. I think she looks good, especially with the hair. I like the new added shirt. I think it works well with her character. I mean, I don't know, because obviously I haven't gotten to play the game yet, but it looks like she might be a little bit easier to control, which was one of the more common complaints about Spyro 3, is that the side characters were just a little bit harder to control than Spyro was. So it seems like Toys for Bob might be trying to make the the side characters a little bit easier to control, a little bit smoother. So it's still true to the original, but with a slight improvement on the controls. So we also got to see Sunrise Springs, and it looks really, really good. Spyro 3 is my favorite Spyro game, so being able to see Sunrise Springs was really nice. It made me really happy to see Sunrise Springs in the new Reignited Trilogy, so I think it looks really good. I don't really have much to say other than that. The speech bubbles are orange from what I've seen for all the worlds they've shown off in Spyro 3. The speech bubbles are orange, same with the gem counter. It's also orange. Well, it looks orange to me. The gem might be red, but I swear it looks very orange, so some people might think it's red. It looks very orange to me. I know there isn't an actual orange gem in the game, but that looks like an orange gem to me. So one more thing that we got to see was a full playthrough of Stone Hill from the first game. And I don't have much to say about this, except we got to see the new designs for all the dragons in this world. And I have to say that Lindar's design is like my new favorite design for the dragons from the first game. From like all the dragons we've seen so far, I really like Lindar's design with all the clocks and the watches. I think he looks really cool. I also really like Gildas's design with the giant paintbrush. That looks really cool. I like his voice. His animations are really good. But one thing I really like about the new cutscenes with the dragons from Spyro 1 is that they're really taking advantage of being able to move the camera, and they're getting a lot of moving shots with these new cutscenes, and I really like that. Oh, and then one thing I also noticed is that they got rid of the purple box border that went around the name of the dragons, and when it said like all dragons found, they got rid of that purple border, and I'm so happy that they did, because when I first saw it in the E3 gameplay from way back when, I thought it looked awful. I didn't really say anything at the time, but I always thought that looked really bad, so I'm glad that they have gotten rid of it now, and it's just the gold font. Yeah, it looks good. Just like that, so I'm glad they changed it. So just a little interruption here. This part was actually recorded after everything else because I just watched a video of Idle Springs gameplay where you can see Zoe, and it's a more recent build of the game, and you can very clearly tell that Zoe's model has been changed to look brighter. Another thing that people were asking Toys for Bob to change was to make the taunt for the egg thieves to be a higher pitch, and they actually came through and ended up making that change that people wanted, and now you can see in the Stone Hill gameplay, or you can hear even in the Stone Hill gameplay, that they have a higher pitched laugh. So this isn't like a deal breaker or anything for me, but it is a minor critique of mine. The eggs are more pink. I just say pink at all because, you know, in the original game, well, in the first game, in Spyro the Dragon, the original one, the dragon eggs were smaller and pink. And then in the third game, they made them sort of white with spots. And now, in the Reignited Trilogy, they're still pink in the original one than the first one, but it seems like they've made the eggs pink in the third game as well. So, I don't know if this is possibly placeholder, like they just took the model from the first game, made it bigger, and stuck it in the third game just to, you know, have a placeholder until they add a new model for the eggs in the third game, making it white, like it was in the original Spyro 3, but I personally don't like them being pink. I feel like the white egg is really iconic for Spyro 3, and I would like to see them change it to white. On the subject of the dragon eggs, I would like to say that
they seem very unfinished, especially with how fast they open up. I like that they open up faster, but they open up a bit too fast, honestly. You know, I know in the original game, you would go up to an egg and it would take a minute and then it would open, and then an animation would play with the baby dragon. And the baby dragons, they just don't seem quite as detailed as Toys for Bob has shown with their models for the dragons in the first game. So I'm hoping that they're still working on the baby dragons, their animations, and then also the speed at which the egg opens. I know these are like little tiny things, but you know, I'm just kind of giving my opinions on these things. It's not really like, oh, if they don't change this, I'm not gonna buy the game. It's just like, yeah, I kind of want them to fix this, and they probably will. Like, again, this is all, you know, a work in progress. The game's not finished yet, and they have time to fix things. A lot of this demo stuff is for the purpose of showing people what they are working on, and you know, they're able to find bugs and fix them, and they're able to get our feedback, and it seems like they want our feedback. They want to know what we want in this game, because this game is really for us. You know, the fans wanted this game. Like, this is really 90% for us, and then 10% for newcomers to Spyro, because we've been asking for this game for so long now, and they want to make it the way that we want it. So nothing, you know, this doesn't work unless we give our opinions. Unless we tell Toys for Bob, this is what we want in the game. We want it to be like this. We want you to fix this, change this, make it look like this. And not everybody's going to have the same opinions on these things, but they can listen to what the vast majority of people are saying and, you know, try to appease the most people without, you know, making huge changes to the game.
So other than that, there's really not a lot of other things I want to talk about. I know there's been other screenshots and gameplay footage shared. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out over the last couple months. And, you know, there's been the delay was announced that the game's not coming out until November 13th. And it might have to do with the controversy about that all three games aren't going to be on the disc. And we're not really sure what that really means. We've gotten a lot of mixed information about that, so I'm not going to talk about that too much because we really don't know what's going on with that. But I'm actually happy that they're taking their time to polish up the game, work on it a little bit more, and then release it when they are ready. Because I would really hate for them to release the game and it not be complete. I'd rather get a complete game than be able to play the game in September. So thanks for watching this video. I know it wasn't like my normal fast-paced, you know, just get the information out. I didn't really feel like putting in that much work to make that video, so I thought I'd just, you know, give my opinions in a more relaxed way. So thank you for watching Solo Delta Gamers. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all of that other fun stuff.